Boonville, right?
Yeah.
And she was part of the San Francisco family, but apparently she was pretty headstrong and strong-willed. You can correct me if it's wrong. And so,
Yeah.
Papa-san, or Mr. Che, they called him Papa-san, Mr. Che gave Christina to Oni to work with. Okay? So once they united, that's when Oakland really began to take off. And I always say that Oni actually accomplished home church before Father even talked about it. Before Father even mentioned it. She achieved tribal messiahship before there was ever a concept of tribal messiahship or home church. Because she didn't go move into someone else's home, but she got someone else's home to move in with her. Okay, so once Christina and her united, then Christina brought her sisters, Elizabeth and Jennifer. They joined. Pardon? And Matthew. I don't know what order it was, but she got them to come, and all of them had girlfriends and boyfriends. So Elizabeth, Christina's sister, had a boyfriend, Jeremiah, so he came out, and step by step, that became her core just from Christina's family. So one person can really change things, you know. So Elizabeth and Matthew had, my spiritual mother was his girlfriend, Evie, and Jennifer didn't have a boyfriend, I don't think. But so then Noah joined, or you joined?
I joined.
How did you join?
I hitchhiked out to see Matthew.
Oh, she was a friend of Matthew's, Christina's brother, and Sherry joined, and Sherry knew Noah. So all the real core of Oakland, her core disciples, all came from just that one person. You see what I mean? So you never know what's going to happen, how God is going to work. But it was really powerful. And that made her, after a certain point, you didn't see her anymore. One of the things that made her a dynamic leader is that she led from a mother's position and from underneath or behind. Does that make sense? And she really made the movement American. She understood what appeals to American young people. So instead of her being visible all the time and directing everything, she would just meet with her 12 disciples or so. She would direct them and teach them what to do. So her presence was through Sherry and through Noah, through her Christina, and they became the leaders, the American leaders. I remember it used to be in the church that the women and women always had to be separated. Remember that? So even when I joined, even the group meetings were always separate, boys and girls, but only changed it to bring girls and boys together, men and women together. But it's really amazing because the spirit of love there was so heavenly. We called it heavenly or so spiritual or so godly. There really was very little problem with the chapter 2 problem. And we didn't even call it chapter 2, right? But it was just like we were really, truly brothers and sisters, right? Right?
Rick, one
Carol?
point that, that really I feel like is so foundational is that in order to become a leader, like to become one of the 12 disciples or whatever, you have to actually have 3 of your own spiritual children. So everybody's trinity was actually made up of the people they brought to the family. So that's why it was really a family. And one of the reasons that there wasn't really a lot of problems with people being attracted to each other, or there wasn't a lot of chapter 2 problems, is because every trinity was really a family. So like these really were brothers and sisters. You would die for your brothers and sisters, and it was like, it felt like a physical family. And so each little group was a real family, because the people in your trinity were the people you brought, and the people they brought. So they just grew, the little dynasties grew that way.
Exactly, yeah. It was really, I can't describe it. Sam, am I on the right track here?
Yeah, you're doing fine.
So I really want to testify for Oni Durst, Mrs. Durst. I really felt like God chose her as someone who could really win America. And the other interesting thing is that after a while, actually the drummer that left the church, the drummer that left the band, that was my friend, he lived in the same house with Dr. Durst. Denny Townsend. So,
Denny is my spiritual son.
her spiritual son, yeah. And Stan, isn't Christina your spiritual mom? This is Christina.
Yeah, she's in the same house.
Kind of.
Leona.
Leona, okay, Leona, yeah.
Oh, Leona.
And Dale.
Pardon? Dale Francis. He just asked
Christina is
me.
Dale's spiritual.
She's in our line.
And Poppy.
And Poppy, yeah. That was amazing. Where was I?
You're saying that Oni was chosen to be the
Pardon?
person. You said Oni was chosen
Yeah.
to be the person.
And she actually, when Dr. Durst joined, all of a sudden we became aware that Dr. Durst was going to become her husband. You know, because she was raising him up. Because she was a woman, she was a woman, she needed a male figure to lead, because especially in the Unification Church was a real male dominated. She needed to have a male leader. And so Dr. Durst was becoming that person. We can see that. And eventually they were, I believe that they're the only couple in the history of the church to be personally blessed by true parents. Is that true?
No.
Just one couple though. They had a ceremony with one couple.
Three couples.
Just one at a
Pardon?
time.
There are actually three of them. She is a blessing, her blessing group is three couples, but Father blessed them each separately. One was in Korea, one was in Germany. and one
Okay,
was
this was something I just
She's in
learned.
the three.
But anyway, it was a really unique situation, and they were actually representative of true parents. We used to call them Appa and Oma, or mother and father, and people would complain about that. But we had visible representation of true parents. So after a while, and so many people started to join, especially when they had the 7-day workshop at Boonville. People would just come up, and people would literally be raptured. They'd meet the church on a Thursday or Friday. They'd go up for the weekend. They'd have long hair and a beard. They'd go to the weekend, and by next Monday, they would cut off all their hair and beard and join. It was just miraculous things were happening. It's like, and it's because, but I have to always, the reason I'm a prayer fanatic, and I'm always talking about prayers, is because that story that Oni said, that she, whenever I asked her, how did you bring all the success? It wasn't external love or external thing, anything like that. She says, always because you have to lay the right conditions. There has to be a condition that precedes the victory. So we were prayed all the time. There's so much prayer going on in the morning, the night, every group meeting, prayer. So that's really, she identified the reason is that condition of prayer. We used to do, on Sunday morning, we used to have morning service, morning prayer, and I don't know if you know, we'd go to the